what we are going to discuss is we have started some discussion on function library and descriptive programming. So I will do a little bit more discussion on function library and descriptive programming. So can everyone see my screen still? Hello? Now let me use another couple of example with functions. So I will go to the function library, functions example function library with let me put it here, function library, and let me create functions for actually let me save it in the same place. Let me save it. Okay, and then let's create general use of function. Okay, so in this one what we are going to do, we are going to write a simple function that will add two numbers. Okay, so I will be associating. Remember, if you want to use a function library, you will have to associate the function library first with your script. So to associate the function library, you click here and then see, you click on your the name of your test and then click add and associate function library, and this is the function library that we have created in our Sunday's class. Now inside that function library, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add another function. Let's say function add two numbers. Okay, and what we are going to do here, these functions will take two numbers, two parameters from the calling part, and then it will add these two numbers. Okay, so let's say here number 1 and number 2. Okay, and then let's say result equal to number 1 plus number 2. Now let's say print result. Okay, now this function you will have to call it. Okay, you will have to call it from your action. Now let's say this is your action. Okay, so when you are calling this number, here you will have to give two numbers. So let's say you want to give two numbers as 10 and 20. Okay, now can you see, add two numbers and we are supplying 10 and 20. So if we give a breakpoint here and if we execute this function, see here, when you are calling this function, it is actually coming inside the function library. Can you see custom function library? Now we are in function library, and when you have, see, this is your action and this is your function library. This is your action where you are adding, where you are calling the function, and while calling you are supplying two numbers, and when you are calling this function, it is going where this function is located. Now this function is located here. If you take a look at your local variables, can you see, in number 1 we have 20, number 2 we have 20, and number 1 we have 10, because when we are calling this function we have supplied 10 and then 20, and when it is coming into the body of the function, then it is getting whatever we supplied when we are calling the function. Those data are storing in these two variables. Now we are adding the result and and printing it from inside the function. Okay, can you see it has printed the result for us? Okay, now let's say what we are doing here, we are supplying two values while we are calling a custom function. So when we are supplying these two value, when the function is called, it is going to the function library, and here these two number that we are supplying is storing in number 1 and number 2, and then we are adding these two number and then storing the results in result and printing the result. So far, do you have any question? Anyone has any question?
This number one, number two, it's just how is it recognizing? That's my question. Num one and num two, did you declare it like before?
Right.
The variable.
See, one thing here, we are not using option explicit.
Yeah.
Right? So we are not using
Yes, yes.
option explicit, and your question is it like we didn't declare it but it is working, how? Or it is we didn't assign any value but it is getting value, how? What is your question?
Yes, yes. That's the question. Yeah, that's my yeah. That's the option. Yeah, identity or
Okay.
how
So
it's getting value.
okay. So see here in the class we have given an example. Let's say you want to drink water. Okay, then what you do, you take water from your freezer, from the water tape, you take the water into the glass and then you drink, right? So in the same way, remember we are calling this function from somewhere. These add two numbers, we are calling this function from your action. Okay, so from here we are calling that function, and while calling we are giving two numbers, these two numbers. So it is like you are pouring water into glass. So when you are calling this function, this 10 and 20 is going to be stored here in number 1 and number 2. Okay, so see, in QTP when you start execution, then your execution starts from action 1, right? So see when we are executing, see here when we are executing, so it has started execution from here, action 1. Now we are in a breakpoint, we are here in line number 2, we are calling this function at two numbers. If you take a look at your local variables, can you see we have nothing here? Do you have anything? No. So
No.
here in line number 2 we are making a call to a function from a function library. So we are calling a function that we have written. So where is that function located? This function is located here in custom function library. So this is the function that we are calling. Now when you are calling, see, you are supplying two data, 10 and 20. So these two data is going to be stored here in number 1 and number 2. Okay, now at this point we do not have any local variable, but see here when we are executing this line number 2, can you see, now we have came inside the function library, and now we have number 1 and number 2. Can you see, now we have value in it. So the value is actually coming when we are calling this function, we are supplying values, and these two values is going to be stored in number 1 and number 2, and in the long run we are using them to add them, and then we are storing it in result, and then we are printing the result. Okay, now ask me your question.
No, so whenever we are using the function library, it's much more advanced, right?
Mhm.
For recognizing the variables, right?
Mhm.
That's the thing.
Mhm. Function library, let me tell you why we use function library. Function library, functions we use for in actual real life application. You, let's say you are clicking on a, let's say you are testing an application, okay, and then in that application whatever you want to do, let's say you are testing a banking application. Let's say you have an account with Wells Fargo and you are testing that Wells Fargo application. Now see, if you want to test anything, you will have to log in and then you will get all the things inside, right? So many of the things, if you want to test in your Wells Fargo, let's say you are an employee for Wells Fargo Bank and you are testing that application, online banking. So if you want to test that application, Wells Fargo's online banking application, you will have to have account by which you will be logging in, and then you will get your statement, transactions, all the thing, changing address, right? So to, like, in that application probably you will have 1,000 test case or more than 1,000 test case, but for all of the test case you will have to log in to test certain functionalities. So all of the 1,000 test case, we have 1,000 test case, but all of the 1,000 test case has login part, okay. So what you do in the actual life, for login you write a function where you have, let's say you are supplying user ID and password, okay, and then this user ID and password you are supplying and it is doing the login operation, and then in your actual script, in every script you are calling that login, you are calling like this, you are calling, let's say from your script you are calling login Wells Fargo, okay. So actually in 1,000 test cases you are not writing everything about login, you are just calling this login function with user ID and password, and when you make call inside that function, in the function library you have input the user ID, password, and then you have click on submit button. In that way the repeating code that you supposed to write with every 1,000 test cases, you are minimizing those repetition. Instead you are just calling a function and that function actually doing the login operation for you. So that is why function is very important. Actually when you are working in a actual automation position, everything you will do as a function, okay. So let me
Bhaiya, action, anything the action means, like you said add two number, like action we have to deliver the whatever I want to do, right? Like login on for user ID, anything we do, we have to first we have to say that I want to this is my action, then I'll that's how it is.
yeah. So let's say if you want to add two numbers, you are supplying two numbers, right?
Right.
If you want to add two numbers, you are supplying two numbers. It depends on what you are looking for. Let's say you want to do you want to in it,
Five number.
yeah, if you want to add five numbers, you will have to supply five numbers. Let's say
Five number.
10, 20, 30, 40, and then 50. How many numbers we have here? So if you supply five numbers, what you will have to do? Can you tell me? If you supply five numbers, you have to do.
In function library, we have to add number two, some two, three, some four, three, four, five, and then we have to in the result we have to add all of them.
Exactly. So now we will have to write this, and then here we will have to do num3, num5, actually num4, and then num5. Okay, now let's see how it works. Okay, now I'm trying to execute this. Now see, we didn't call this function and our local variables are empty, right? Now if we make the call, see, it is going inside the function, and now can you see you have 5 numbers, and then we are adding these 5 numbers. See, we are adding these numbers. Now if you take a look, what is the results? 150, and it is printing 150. Is it clear?
Is that a sum loop, right?
Hmm?
So which is the loop? Sum loop? Is that a sum loop, right?
Actually,
Which is loop?
no, we
Even
didn't we didn't use any loop here. We have used a simple arithmetic expression.
But isn't it, I to me it's like it's the loop which is that we adding and
Oh, actually, see here, Kripababi, we didn't use any kind of loop here. Can you see? We have just add all the numbers together. Let's say if you want to add 5 plus 10 plus 15 plus 20, whatever you do, we did the same thing here. We didn't use any kind of loop here. Okay, any more question? I'm expecting more question. Guys, you are open to ask any question. Go ahead if you have any question.
in real life, do we use different function library, or for each project work we use we make one function library and we use that one.
Actually,
Adding.
I got it. Now
Yeah.
in real life we use multiple function libraries. Let me give you a specific example. Let's say you have a statement page. If you go to your online banking account, you have a statement page, and then you have a transaction history page, and then you have a settings page where you change address. You have a transaction page where you make transactions. You have a transfer page where you make transfers, right? So for each of the functionalities, like normally you can write all of the functions inside one function library, but normally if there is lot of functions, we create separate function library for each of the pages.
And whenever we are using the function library, this function thing, obviously we don't have to declare the variable. That's clear, right? Am I correct? We
Yeah.
don't have to use the option explicit or dim anything, nothing. Right.
Now we'll have to declare all of the dim, but in this to keep it simple, I am not using option explicit. But normally to keep your code clear and safe, you will have to use
Yes.
dim statement.
Okay.
But I'm trying to keep it simple so that you can understand easily.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, what is the next question? Go ahead. জি বনাদ ভাই।
function add two numbers, num1, num2, num3, num4, num5. Is there any way we can do like num, then bracket 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instead of num?
Oh, actually, see here we are actually declaring 5 variables to capture. It depends on, here we are supplying 5 data. Here we are supplying how many data? How many data we are supplying? 5. Now for these 5 numbers to match, to accept all of the numbers, we will have to have 5 variables. You can declare it as num1, or you can declare it as variable 1, or you can declare it as whatever you want, but you will have to give a variable name. But you cannot give it as num1 2 3 like that. If you give num1 2 3 4 5, it will be a one variable. Okay, if let's say if you give in this way 1 2 3 4 5, then this whole one is one variable. Okay,
Thank you.
sure. What is the next question? Okay, So it seems like you guys understand what I tried to explain. Now take a look here. We have seen when you are calling function how you can pass data into that function. So here in line number 2 we are passing data into the functions. Now if you want to get something back from function, okay, see this result, let me execute it again to give you a specific example. So I am trying to print here, print result, okay, print result. Now take a look here. If I execute it, take a look here. Now we have result, right? If you go to your local variables, we have number 1, number 2, and then we have also we have result equal to 150, right? So in line number 31, when we are printing that result, see it has printed the result for us, okay, and then it is exiting out from the function. Now can you see, now after executing this it came back into the action, and inside action, can you see in line number 4, if you go to your local variables, can you see you don't have any local variables? Do you have any local variables? No. Now you can see we have printed 150 from where? From inside that function library. We have printed that 150, but we have printed it from that function library. Now now hold on 1 second, let me make it okay. Okay, so this is our function library. From inside function library we have printed something, but in action, if you go back to your action, you can see that we do not have anything. Now if we print result, what will be printed? Can anyone tell me?
Total.
What? How much is total?
10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 40 plus 60 altogether 150.
How?
150.
How?
You add 10 plus 20, 20 plus 30, 30 plus 40, 40 plus 50.
Yeah, we have added, you are right, but can you see we do not have any local variables here?
Yeah.
That means this result we have nothing inside it. If you right click on this result and click on add to watch, right click again and click on add to watch, can you see result variable is undefined, it has nothing inside it? But we have stored the result in result. See, when we are printing it, it is not printing anything. So this 150 is from inside the function library. Now take a look here. It's very important that these variables, can you see this result, right? Let's say we are storing it where? Inside the function. Where? Inside the function. So this result is available only inside this function, from here to here. When you came out of this function, this result is not available anymore. So this is called local variable. This result is local variable. So if you come out of that function, you will not see the value anymore. Okay, so that is the reason when we are trying to print the result here, actually we are not seeing anything inside that function. So does anyone has any idea like what should we do in this situation? Any idea?
We have to go back to the same function, like you write the function name.
What again? Repeat.
You said if you wanted to find out the result, you need to go particular that function. So I was just wondering, you have to go that function.
Actually, no.
You have to declare. You have to write D.
Okay, now let me tell you one thing. The variables, if you want to bring something, see the result is inside that function here. If you want to bring something from inside the function, you will have to return it. How do you return it? If you want to return something from the function, can you, what is the function name? This is the function name, right?
Right.
So this is the function name. Do one thing. So you will have to save it in that function. So now if you add these numbers, and the result will be added here. Add two numbers. Okay, now that means from this function you are returning something. Okay, so it is like, let's say you are going to someone's house and you are taking some cookies with you. Okay, so you are going to their house, you are going with some cookies, and when you are returning, it is like when we are calling the function, we are going with cookies. That means we are supplying number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. These are cookies. And then when we are coming out from their house, they are giving us something, like they are giving some toys to our kids. Okay, so when we are coming out of this function, we are returning something. What we are returning? We are returning the summation of the result, and we are storing this result in that add two numbers. The way it will work, then if you write here, let's say result equal to, then see this summation will be stored here in result. Okay, now let me execute it again, and you will see how it works. Okay, due to synthesis, okay, result add two numbers, and due to synthesis, okay. So now when we are returning something, what we will have to do, we will have to use a parenthesis here. So we will use a parenthesis. So normally when you are supplying data, you use parenthesis if you are returning something. Now let me execute it. Okay, so now if you take a look at your local variables, do you have any local variables? No. So let me go inside that function. Now can you see add two numbers? The function name is empty right now, right? Can you see it is empty right now? And then we have number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 up to number 5. Now if I execute this part, can you see add two numbers? The function name, we have stored the result in the function name, right? So now we have the result in the function name. And if I print result, can anyone tell me what will be printed here?
Two numbers.
Actually, this result variable, do we have anything in this result variable at this point? Did we store anything in that result? No, so it will not print anything.
We have to say from print and two numbers, right?
Exactly. So now take a look here. If I print result, it didn't print anything, right? Did it print anything? No. But if you take a look at your local variables, you have add two numbers in 150. Now if you go back, see when you are exiting out from the function, can you see in line number 33 we are ending this function and we are going back here. Now can you see after executing line number 2 we have stored the result in this result, because we have, like as I give an example previously, that you are going to someone's house with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. We are going with some cookies. Okay, here cookies are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now when you are coming back, when you are coming out of that function, they are giving some toys to our kids. So what is the toy? The toy is the result of these 5 numbers, and it is stored in this result. Now can you see result is 150. Now if we print result, what will be printed?
150.
150. So it has printed you can see that it has printed 150. Okay, now see, this one is not working, so I don't need it. I'm going to remove it. Okay, okay. Now see, the purpose of writing this example is to show you how you can pass number to a function, and then how you can return something from the function. Okay, so that is how you pass something to the function, and that is how you return something from the function. Let me know if you have any question. Any question you can ask. Go ahead. Are we clear?
Yes, so far nothing clear.
Okay, what about
Honestly,
Mhm.
so far it's clear, but I don't know when I'm going to do it, then I'll face the problem I will. But now I can ask, when you ask me, when you say, yeah, it's very understanding. But when I try to do it, then I just, somehow I get stuck.
Okay, I'll give you another example. Now, Murad bhai, what about you? Yes.
I'm okay.
What about Hassan bhai and Mahfuz bhai?
Play back the video.
Yeah, yeah. What about Mahfuz bhai and Hassan bhai?
Yes, I understand pretty much. But if I can't understand anything, I will play back the video later on. Then I'll recover that.
Okay, got it. Okay. What about others like Vishakha, Shamir Dada? What about you guys?
Yes, but that's my way. Yeah, that.
Okay, Rafiq bhai.
I guys, somewhat I have to practice more.
Okay. So, Taminapu, what about you?
I'm sorry, Bhaiya.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused, but I can go back, watch the video again.
Okay. So, let me do one thing. Let me give you another example. So this is one simple example. Let's say if you want to add 5 numbers or 2 numbers, that is how you do it, and that is how you return something from the result. Okay. Now, let's say um, let's say you are doing it in that way. Let's say you are now.
So, what I
Mhm.
can I just interrupt you?
Mhm.
Let's say a real scenario, just I'm trying to figure it out. I understood. Let's say we are doing like some food the order entry, like food order entry, right?
Mhm.
And then the food order has got specific price. Yeah, like yeah, I'm writing something on food order, so that's the thing I'm trying to fit in there.
Mhm.
So let's say the food has got unique price, like every unit has got $50,
Mhm.
and I have to say that I have to enter like how many pieces I want, like 3 pieces I want, but I want also the bill to prepare the bill that is giving me a correct mathematical answer. So in that case, same way I have to do it like with the function library. Am I correct?
Yes.
When I'm testing that, right?
Yes.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. So let us do another example that you, Nafisa Babu, whatever you said, I'm going to do that one actually here. So let's remove this. Okay, or let me comment out this part. So this is just commented out. Now let's do price of
Price of meat. Let's say price of meat.
hold on.
Every unit price is $50.
Hold on. Hello, Mahfuz bhai.
भैया
Yes.
আমি সব দেখছি বুঝতে পারছি কিন্তু আমি কোনো সাউন্ড পাচ্ছি না।
Can you hear now?
হ্যাঁ, আমি এখন শুনতে পাচ্ছি।
Okay, can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say price of fruit. Okay, let's say price of fruit equal to input box. We are taking something from the input box. Okay, enter price of fruit. Okay, and then let's say price of vegetable. Let's say price of veg. Enter the price of vegetable. Okay, and then let's say price of whatever is price of grocery. Okay, price of grocery, let's say. Okay, so we are taking three numbers from input. Okay, and then we are storing them in price of fruit, price of veg, and price of grocery. Okay, in these three variables. Now let's make a function. Let's say add the costs. Okay, and then in this add the cost we are supplying, we want to add these three numbers that we have inside these variables. Okay, so we are supplying it here. Let's say price of fruit and then price of veg and then price of grocery. Okay, and then let's say add all the cost. Okay, now let's define a function. So if we want to write a function, the function name will be same that we have declared over there. What is that? Add all the costs. Now come here, how many variable we will have to capture here? Can anyone tell me? Three variable. Okay, I can give any name, like let's say price of whatever. I don't want to like let's say price 1. I want to keep it simple here. Price 1. You can give any name here, because whatever you are supplying here, see, you are supplying price of fruit, so price of fruit will be missing here, matching here price 1, and then price 2, and then price 3. Okay, so we are supplying three prices. One is price of fruit, price of veg, and price of grocery, and these three will be saved sequentially in price 1, price 2, price 3. Okay, and then let's say now let's say we want to return it. Okay, so if you want to return something from inside the function, what you will have to do, you have to give the function name, and then you will have to assign the value. So what will be the values? You have to add these three numbers. Okay, and you want to replace this with plus. Okay, now see, you are adding these three costs, and these costs are adding here and storing inside this function name. Now if you come here, so as you are, see, you are getting something back from this function. Remember, I use an example. You are going to someone's house with some cookies, and when you are coming back, you are getting some toys. So you are going into the function with some values, with some costs, and then when you are returning back from the function, you are getting the total cost. Okay, you are getting the total cost. I'm just giving a name, total cost equal to, right? Now you can print the total cost, or you can do whatever you want with the total cost, and then you can print them, or I'll do something else, but first let me quickly execute it. Okay, now if I execute it, Can you see here? It is asked actually test run cannot due to syntax error. The syntax error is, see
Oh,
this,
yes. In a break.
yeah, the we will have to use the parenthesis here. Here we will have to use the parenthesis. See, we are supplying, let's say if you take some cookies to someone's house, you take it into a bag and then you take there. Now this bracket is our bag, so our bag is here, and inside the bag we have three values. Okay, now if I execute it, okay, now see, it is asking us what is the price of the fruit. Let's say the price of the fruit is $15, and then what is the price of vegetable? Let's say $20. And what is the price of grocery? Let's say another $20. So 20, 20, 50 and 15, it should be 55. Now can you see, if you go to your local variables now, your total cost is 15, 20, 20.
Oh, I see.
Okay, why is that? Can anyone answer me, like why is that? Why we should get 55 but we are getting a string?
It's the integer value, so we have to.
Okay, so
We have to.
I didn't get it. Could you repeat?
I said you did not do any addition, instead you used comma, that's why the result was like that.
Rafik bhai, see, we have added the numbers inside the function library. If you go back to here, can you see price 1 plus price 2 plus price 3? So we have added these numbers, but instead of adding them, what we are getting a concatenation. Why is there concatenation? Because see, price of fruit, price of veg, remember we have discussed, whatever you take from input box, it comes as a string.
String. That's
So-
right. String. Yes.
So if you want to
Integer.
add them, you will have to convert it to integer. So how will you do that? Cint. Remember we have used cint many times, so we will have to use cint, and okay, so this is where we are converting it. See, this time it has printed 15, 20, 20. It did a concatenation, because if you add two string, it will be added one after another. It will not be an actual addition. So now we have converted the number, whatever we are receiving from input box, into integer. Now we are giving the same number 15. Actually cint, it is saying that type mismatch, it cannot convert. Let me stop it. Let me do one thing here. Let me put the breakpoint actually, because it is easier for us. Now let me execute this one. Now it will be asking, let's say 15 and then 20 and then 20. Okay, now see, if you take a look at your local variables, can you see price of fruit, previously it was integer, now previously it was a string, now it is integer, right? All of the prices now integer. So they are now number, previously they were string. Now if you go back there, can you see here, we have in price 1 we have 15, in price 2 we have 20, in price 3 we have 30. Now we are adding these three numbers and storing the results in add to add all the cost. Remember, add all the cost is the function name. If you want to any question? Okay, now can you see, add all the numbers 55. Now if you go back, and now if you take a look, total cost equal to 55. Now if you print it, previously where it printed 15, 20, 20 for us, this time it is printing the correct result. Okay, any more question? So
it has to be separate.
see, function is for a piece of operation. Okay, so you do not do multiple operation in a single function, but if you want, you can do multiple, whatever calculation you want, you can do inside a function. But function is a pieces of code. It is a like, if you have 10 procedure in something, it is one procedure. So if you have 10 procedure in a script, for each of the procedure you will write one function.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, any more question?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, now let me go ahead.
No.
No question?
Samurai, thank you very much for this example. It was like really clear thing, no doubt.
Alright, no problem, Subabi. Thank you for understanding. Now, see, on our Sunday's class, we have added some functions. See, we have added some functions here, like close browser, open browser, and then verify the website logo. In the same function library, we are adding some other functions. So this is what, if you have 100 test cases, you can associate the same function library with 100 test cases.
Yeah, and we can bring to here our
Y-
action.
Yes, you can associate that function library with any number of test cases. Now, do we have another 10 minutes? I want to continue another 10 minutes.
I have no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Doesn't have a problem.
Okay. Then let me now correlate function with our actual business scenario. Okay. Now, if you go there, go to the application. Let's say qaquestions.org. Okay. Let me go to so our business scenario, let's say our test case is when, let's say you are going into qaquestions.org, and then you are clicking on QA interview questions. Okay, and then when you click on QA interview questions, can you see we are getting a question here, Q1, can you tell me about yourself? So let's say our business scenario, we have to verify that in this line, in this single line, can you tell me about yourself? We have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28. We have 28 characters, and what is that? We have one space here, 29 30 31 32 33 34. How many characters we have here in this line?
Including space?
Mm-hmm.
Is it including space?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, including space.
Yeah, including space. 32, right?
34.
34.
34.
Yeah, 34 including.
Okay, 34, yes.
Okay, so we have to verify that when you go to QA interview questions, we have in that line, in the first question we have how many characters? 34 characters. We have to verify that we have 34 characters. If it is more than 34 characters, or if it is less than 34 characters, the test case is failed. Okay, so this is our test case. What is the test case? Go to qaquestions.org and then click on QA interview questions, and then the page appears. That one will have a question one line that will have 34 characters. Did we understand the business scenario?
Yes.
Okay, then let me do it. I will be doing it in the same way. Some of you have missed the descriptive programming class, So I will do it in the same way, the way we did it in the descriptive programming. Now let me create a new test case. Let's give name as um, verify character count in Q1. Okay, so I'm creating a function library. I'm creating a test that will be verifying that in question 1 we have 31 characters. Now can you see we have nothing in action, and in here we do not have any function library, right? Guys, can anyone tell me that we have function library, we had function library in the previous test case, but we do not have any function library. And what we want to do, we want to, like, for opening application, for verifying that it is loaded properly, we have previously written function, but we do not want to write it again. What we will have to do, we will have to associate that function library, custom function library. Okay, so we are first associating that function library, and we are going into that function library. Can you see we have a close browser function that will close all the open browser. So this is our close browser function, and then inside that function library we have open application, right? Open application is taking a parameter. What is the browser you want to, actually what is the browser? Do you want to test in Firefox? Do you want to test in Chrome? So we are supplying the browser name. Okay, then this is our open browser, and what is the browser we are testing? iexplore.exe. Okay, then we have another function. Can you see, verify that, like if we say, if you say that go to that application, you'll have to verify that that application loaded properly. To verify that application, we have verified that this logo is present. So this function, we have written this function to verify that that website logo is there. And then what is our next step? Our next step is to click on this QA interview questions, right? So in the previous example, we had another test case. We had some other functions. See, we had after that we had software quality assurance, web element verification. We have verified something else, right? Can you see we have verified something else, but we do not need it at this point. So we are not calling that function. So whatever we need in this test case, remember I told you that every test case will have login. In this scenario, every test case will have to open the application, right? And we'll have to make sure that application loaded properly. So to make sure this part, we have these three functions. We have made calls to these three functions. Okay, now if I execute this three function, let me show you what happens. I didn't write any description, anything. I'm just calling function from a previous code that we have written in the function library. Okay, first it is closing the browser, and then it is opening the application in Internet Explorer, and then when the application is loaded, it is verifying something from the application, and up to that we loaded the application, we verified something. We didn't write a single code because we have already wrote those code previously in the function library. Okay, now for our new test case, for our new business scenarios, what is the next step? Click on QA interview questions, right? I'll do it again using function library. So for that one, I will write another function. Here. Let's say.
So that is our new test case, right?
Yeah, this is.
Interview question?
Yeah.
New test case.
New test case. So I'm writing another function to click on that QA interview questions. Okay. Now function. Let's you can give any name, but I will give QA.
The same one.
Let's say QA interview question, and what is the operation we are doing? Click, right?
Right.
Okay, then here see, I will write whoever missed our last session, see how we write descriptive programming. Now where do you want to click on this QA interview questions, right?
Right.
Now see, we have link, we have this link, and this link is inside this page, okay, and this page is inside this browser. Now let's see how we write descriptive programming. Be clear about that. So first what I'm doing, I'm clicking on that link, and can you see copy the identification characteristics? I'm clicking on that and going to a notepad. I'm going to a notepad, and see, I'm bringing all the attributes that link has, okay, and then let's go back. Can you see QA interview question, this page? I'm copying all the attribute for that page, and I'm going to the notepad again. So this is the attribute of the page, okay, up to here, okay, is the page. So these are the attribute for the page, and then let's go back. Actually let's go back to the here, let's copy all the attribute of that browser. See, we are not using record and run, we are not using object repository, we are writing pure descriptive programming. Now can you see what is the hierarchy? First browser, then page. See, first class name browser, and then class name page, and then class name link, right? So now go back here inside your function browser, okay, and then browser page is under the browser, and then under the page we have a link, right? And what we want to do on that link, we want to click. Now what is the, like, if you say browser, you will have to give what is the description of the browser. So we are using, let's say first we are seeing if there is an HTML ID. So there is no HTML ID. So if there is no HTML ID, we are using this name attribute. So what we are doing, we are copying everything from here to here, and then going there and pasting it here as attribute for the browser. And then for the page, you can see again we have open title, right? So we will be using this title. Remember one thing, you will not be using, for the page actually we have this title, this is the page attribute. You are not using any of this number as a property. Can you see any of this number? This number will be different. In your machine it will be different, in my machine it will be different. The thing that will not be different is this title, name, or HTML ID, or inner HTML, they will not be different. Now you bring it here, page, and let's go back to the link. What is the attribute of the link? So the link is this one. Let's take, see, HTML ID we do not have any value, so that's why we will go back. We'll be able to use inner text. That's fine. So we'll be using inner text, and then we'll be pasting it here. Okay. So first, let's say before we click, we want to do a highlight. We want to see the action visibly, and then we want to click on it. Now I'm copying it here. Actually I copied a little bit more here. Let me remove it. Okay. Now let me make the font a little bit smaller because it is hard to see all the things together. Coding, text editor, font and color. Let's make it 40. Okay. Now if you take a look here, can you see first we are doing a highlight and then we will be clicking on it, dot highlight. Okay, now let me execute this code. Let me execute. So to execute this, you will have to bring this function to inside your function lab, inside your action. Okay, now if you execute this one, let's see what happens. Closing browser and then open Internet Explorer and then highlight the logo and then click on QA interview questions. Now they are saying link object description matches more than one objects currently displayed in your application. So they are saying, let's say we are telling, we have used this example, go to 120 Before Highway Road. Okay, and then you are going there, you are saying that 120, there are two doors that has 120. So here we have given for the link, see the link object description matches more than one objects. So the link object we have used inner text, but that description matches more than one object. So we will, yeah, so we have like, it is like we have two doors that has 120 door numbers. So you will have to give some unique properties to make this object unique. So let's try to give this URL. Let's see if this URL works. Hopefully it will work. If it doesn't work, then I will give something else. So if you need to give multiple attribute, now we are saying go to 120 door number, but the color will be green. The door color will be green. So that is your destination. So we are giving some other attributes so that it can uniquely identify that object. Now let me try to execute this. Can you see it is now highlighting? So is this concept is clear? Because this is we need to understand that if one attribute, let's say inside here we have mentioned one attribute inner text, but inside this one there were multiple. If you come here, Q interview questions, can you see this one has Q interview questions, this one has Q interview questions, this one has Q interview questions, right? All of them has Q interview questions, and that's why it was getting multiple element that has Q interview questions. That's why it was saying Q interview questions has like the description matches more than one object. Then what we did, we added another attributes from here, this URL, and then it was able to identify that object. So if you want to add multiple object, multiple attribute, you will put a comma for that. Wherever you are getting error, you will be adding a comma and then you will be putting the other attributes. Is this clear so far?
Can we add three?
Yeah, sometimes you will have to add 3, 4 if you need it.
Okay, but same way, comma and then.
Yeah, comma and then you will be copying it from here. But it's better, you do not go for these numeric values. Instead you try to select this text, okay, like this HTML tag or this XPath or this outer HTML. So if none of the attributes are working, finally you will be using outer HTML, because this one you will have to change it. Like if you want to check test the application in multiple browser, outer HTML, many of the time outer HTML will be different. Like let's say you are running this browser in Internet Explorer, this is the outer HTML, but if you run this application in Firefox, the outer HTML could be different. So if none of the attributes work, then finally you will be using outer HTML.
So if we do outer HTML, then we have to delete the other 2 or 3, whatever we
No. You can keep the others, but with them you can use the outer external.
Oh, with the them. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so how many number of attribute you will be adding? It depends on, if your object is sufficient with one attribute, then you do not need to add multiple attributes. If your objects is, if you are not able to identify your objects by one attribute, then you will have to bring multiple attributes. Okay, any question? Go ahead if you have question. So mhm.
I understand this part, but how can I specify to 34 characters in the homework?
Yes. So that 34 character, see, it is pretty simple again. What you will have to do, I can quickly finish it, but we are well above, beyond our time limit. So do you think we can continue some more time? I can finish it,
I have no problem.
or I can finish it in the class, or I can answer your question. But if you guys are okay, I want to.
No problem.
Go ahead.
Nakita, Nakita, I have no problem. It's okay. It's okay for me.
Okay, then let me finish it here, because this test case, this business scenario I want to finish. Now see one thing, I will have to verify that. Now I am in this space. My script is bringing me in this space. Now my task is to verify that in this question 1 I have 34 characters. How will I do that? Okay, so let me go back here in the action. Now let me put another comment. So you already know that this is comment. Verify that question 1 has 34 characters. Okay, now write a function here, q, let's say q, I'm just giving a name as I want, you can give any name. Q1 has 34 characters, underscore verification. Okay, where we are clicking on something, we are like, this is a naming convention, you do not have to follow it. I'm just following it to, like, somewhere we are doing some click, somewhere we are doing some verification, just I'm giving a meaningful name. Okay, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to create another function here. Okay, let's say function, and q1 has 34 character verification. Now let's go back to, so this is the line where we should have 34 characters. Now this object, do a object spy on that object. Okay, so this is the line. Okay, so I'm doing a object spy. Alright, so now if you copy all the attributes again, so this is the attributes for the web element, right? Can you see? Okay, I got it here. And then let's go back to our UFT. Let's copy all the attribute for the page. Okay, and put it here. So this is the attribute for the page, and then let's bring all the attributes for the browser. So I'm going to UFT, copy, let's bring all the attribute of the browser. So now we have browser, page, and then what is the last? Web element, right? Browser, page, and web element. Previously we had browser, page, and link. Now we have browser dot page dot Now what is the again what is the attribute for the browser? Let's say I'll be using this name. I'm directly copying it, name, I'm putting it here. And for the page, what is the attribute I will be copying? This title. Okay.
You're in a browser.
Oh, yeah, you are right. So I will be using this title from the page. Then let's go back. Page. And what is the last object? Web element, right? So let's go to there. So what is the inner text? This one, right? Okay. So this is our inner text, or let's say we use inner HTML. All of these should work. Okay, I'm using this inner HTML and pasting it here. Okay, now see this one. You want to this object, first do one thing. First do a highlight. Let's see if it is able to highlight this object, and if it is highlighting, then we'll count it how many characters. Okay, now let me execute this. So it was able to highlight, right?
Right.
Okay, now I will do the calculation. Okay, see to see how many characters it has after highlighting. Did you heard about get arrow property? Get RO property. This objects dot get RO property, and then we will, what is the RO property we will get? Inner text. So we are trying to get how many. First we are trying to see what are the text it has. str text of question 1. Okay, now we are getting all the text. That element, whatever text it has, we are capturing all the text. Okay, now see length. We are getting the length of the, see, length equal to len strq1. Okay, and then if this length equal to 34, then reporter dot report event meet pass, and then where, which one we are passing, this verification. Okay, and then we want to give a meaningful message here also. Got 34 characters in question 1, and if it is not 34, then what we want to do, if it is not 34, we want to give else reporter.report event make fail. Okay, and didn't didn't get 34 characters in question 1, right? Okay, let me put a breakpoint here so that I can show you how it is working. Okay, now let me execute it. Okay, Q1 has 34 characters verification, right? Now before I execute, I want to see. So now the page is there, right? Okay, now can you see this line will be highlighting, right? So this line will be highlighting. Let's see if it is highlighting for us. Yeah, it is doing. Now can you see what we are doing here in line number 45? We are getting this object that we have highlighted. We are trying to get all the arrow property inner text. Now if you go there, arrow property inner text, can you see this is our arrow property inner text. This is the value. This is the value for the inner text, right? Now we are extracting the arrow property, that is inner text. We are extracting some values from the application and storing it in this variable. Okay, now if you take a look at your local variables, can you see we have nothing in str text of Q1. Now if you execute it, this one, can you see now we have all the text that we have inside that element. Can you see all the text is there? Okay, then what we are trying to do, can you see len? This is a library function. So in BB scripting we have a function that we can use. We do not need to write it. It is how it will work. It is written with BB scripting. So we are just using len and giving whatever numbers we want to count. We are giving that characters inside that function. What is the character? We have Q1. Can you tell me about yourself? We have that many characters. We are giving it here in the len. Now if you go there, can you see it is 37. Okay, why it is 37? Because we have counted it wrong. That's why. Let me count it again. Okay, so 1. Actually, let me go there. Let me bring it here and then count it. Okay, now if I count it 1, let me count it in that way. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35, but it is showing us 37, right? Yeah, let me count it properly. Actually I think we are count
Ryan, did you have to count the question mark? Like yourself and then
Yeah.
question mark. Yes, this is the question mark?
yeah, we'll have to count everything. Okay, column 1
Then 36.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 36, right? So this should be 36. Now let me see why it is giving len equal to 37. str length, why it is giving 37. 36, we have seen that it is 36. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 So str text of q1, str length, I'm seeing that it is giving me a wrong length. Remember one thing, if you go back here, I think what it is causing, str q1 length alien. How many characters? So I'll go there. We'll be pasting it here. Oh, we cannot do it. We'll have to go here and start it over here. Okay, count how many characters. Go. Let me paste it here. Okay, now let me count actually how many characters I have here. Characters 35. It is saying character is 35, right? So my question, why we are getting 37 here? Is it counting with the
Yeah, they're counting with the
Counting with the quotation.
let's do one thing. Seems like it is counting with the quotation, so what we can do, Mhm. So without quotation, see, without quotation we have 35 characters here. So altogether we have 35 characters. So now when it is counting with the quotation, it is coming as 37 characters. But let's do one thing. Let's keep this session here, as I'll be giving a details explanation of how it is counting the characters in our Sundays class. But for now, can you see, if you, so our length should be somewhere like 35, but we are getting 37, so this test case should be failing here, right? Now can you see it is coming to the fail block, and then it is failing our test case here. You will see it will be failing our test case here. Okay, and if you go to the error message, can you see did not get 34 characters in Q1. Okay, now if I go there, let me do actually, how many characters we have? 35. Okay, 35. And before I do this, let me do a trim here, trim, and here let me do a trim, and then let me execute it again. Okay, Okay, so let's see where we are. Okay, now if I go there, let me see, highlighting, and then text of Q1, and then is getting the text of Q1. Let me take a look at the local variables. Okay, and then let me count. So still we are getting 37. Give me 1 second. Alright, so what I am going to do, so as it is giving me that 37 characters, I am going to do a little bit how it is counting the characters. I will let you know in our Sunday's class. But that is how you can count the characters here. But we will give more explanation on these, and we will be moving forward from there in our Sunday's class. But up to that, do you have any question? Whatever we have discussed.
So do we have any homework then, or no? Just practice only?
Yes, I'll send you homework. I'll send you homework. Previously I sent you a homework that was due today, but I will be checking it on our Sunday session at 9 o'clock. I will check that homework, and also my plan is to send you another simple homework, and also I am going to, whatever we are going to learn in our Sunday's class, I am going to record it and send it to you before Sunday, before Saturday night, so that you can review the video and then you can come to the class. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Leah.
Yeah, so that is what for today. You go through the recording that we have recorded today. I will send you this one probably by morning, and then you will be keep looking for how we did descriptive programming, and after that you finish that homework that I sent in the beginning of probably last Sunday. I sent you a homework regarding descriptive programming. I send you in a Word file with a screenshot. Finish that, and also I will be sending another homework, simple homework, and also I will be sending the topics that I will be discussing on Sunday in a short recording. So review the recording, and then please come to the class 9 o'clock in the morning, and then we will be continuing from 9 to 1. And I'm planning to bring use of Excel, how in a framework, how you call a function from Excel. Like, you will be calling a function from Excel, and it will execute your application, it will execute your business scenarios. So I'm planning to bring those topics in the Sunday's class, at least how Excel works with UFT. So do not miss the class, and that's it for today. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, and have a good night.
Thank you, you too.